16 years we have been ministering to, feeding the souls and the bellies of the homeless population in the downtown Baton Rouge area. Matter of fact, coming up this year for our annual Thanksgiving Serve Day is happening again November 28th at 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. downtown Baton Rouge. We're feeding. I'm telling you, it's going to be amazing. It's always amazing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We got a lot of vendors coming out. We got haircuts. We got clothes. We got a full spread. I'm talking about turkey. A clothes closet. What a changing room. Nice. So they can get a whole makeover. We can get their haircut and an outfit.
That's nice.
That's how we doing it.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's going down in the downtown area, November 28th, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Give you time to go out and serve before you go out and spend time with your family and whatnot. So it's amazing. What's it, 10 years now? We're going on, I think, the 10th or 11th year with our Thanksgiving Day Serve Day special. So it's always a great time. So if you want to be a part of that, you can simply send us an email to outreachresources@gmail.com. Again, that's outreachresources225@gmail.com to be a part of our Thanksgiving Day Serve Day. And then what else we got? That's happening. We got some comments and some announcements for events that's going to be happening this weekend as well. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We got more in store for you. Of course, we got to introduce the Kingdom crew in the building with us today, and we're going to have a full house, y'all. It's going to be an amazing show, so don't go anywhere. Stick around. It's the Kingdom Hour Radio Show.
Join us for the Kingdom Hour Radio Show with Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew. Live on Fridays at 4:30 on WABL 97.3 FM, WABL 1570, and WPFC 1550. Proclaiming the kingdom, preaching the truth, and transforming culture.
This is Mommy Moments with the Glamazon Mom.
Our country is at a crossroad. Parents, this is a time to stand strong and let your voice and your vote be heard. This is a time to not shield your children from what's happening in our country, but a time to show them leadership so that they'll know how to pass on that torch to their children and children's children for generations to come. Let's stop this cycle. And in the words of one activist, it's time to plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. And that begins on the state and local level. I'm Ebony Thunderberg, your Glamazon mom, saying stay strong and vote.
That's a mommy moment. Be a Glamazon mom. Like our fan page and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Glamazon Moms. And remember, not all superheroes wear capes. Glamazon Mom.
It's the Kingdom Hour with your host Apostle and the Kingdom Crew. The voice, Desiree Collins, Pastor Travis Paul, and Ricky Robinson.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. I'm your host, Apostle Keith, in the building with us. Full house. It is getting fuller and fuller by the second. Of course, over there holding it down, the ones and twos, pushing the whites, the reds, the greens, not the blues, because I got that over here. It is the Funky Cole Maninas. It's the dynamic duo. That's our video production team over there holding it down. They do as they do, and they do as they do well. Yeah, I said that. Yep, that's the dynamic duo. And then, of course, over here at the Kingdom Command Center is none other than the amazing Desiree DC. We call her the voice because it's melodious. Yep. She is District 3 in Baker, council person. Hey, Desiree.
Hey. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday to you, too.
Yeah.
Yay is Friday.
Yay.
Yeah, so we call it Friday.
Friday.
Gotcha.
Friday.
Mm-hmm. How are you?
I'm doing amazing.
Okay.
Yes, how about yourself?
I feel amazing too.
That's good. You feel amazing because I feel amazing.
No, I'm not
That's
copying
amazing.
Off of you.
We did talk about copycats earlier.
Yeah, this is my own amazing, my own wonderful.
Just you by yourself?
Yeah.
Nobody else?
Before I came.
Got you. Mm-hmm. That's amazing.
Thank you.
You're amazingly amazing. Yeah. We got some special guests, in-studio guests with us today that we're going to have opportunity to talk to, speak with as well. Some great things that are happening in the city. Of course, I want to make some big announcements that's coming up on this Sunday at 5:30 where Real Men Worship. That's happening here at Elevate Church. Real Men Worship. That's happening 5:30. Do we have the graphic for that we could put up? It's coming. And for those of you online, you'll see there it is. When Real Men Worship. 5 o'clock here at Elevate Church, 10957 Greenwell Springs Road, Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Doors open at 4:30. Make it here, 5 o'clock. We're going into worship. It's open to women as well. It's when Real Men Worship, but women are welcome as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything happening?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, go ahead.
Well, first thing in the morning, if you are someone who wants to run and stretch your legs, just want to show up wearing purple to the Elvin Howard Pancreatic Cancer Foundation's 5K run and 1 mile walk. That's going to be at the Baker, Louisiana, in front of the Baker Municipal Center.
Yeah.
And people can still register to be a part of this, a part of the run. You can come out and meet the vendors, make donations, and just take in the atmosphere, even if you decide that you don't want to run 5 miles or walk 1 mile.
Yeah, 5 miles. Yeah. I'll be passing on that one.
I'll walk.
You walk?
I'll walk.
Yeah. That's tomorrow. It's taking place in the Baker area. So
That's right.
Yeah. So where can they find more information on it?
You can go to the Elvin Howard Senior Pancreatic Cancer Foundation's page. It has an opportunity for you to register there if you want to, if you're interested in being a volunteer, if you're interested in being a vendor, a resource vendor, or if you want to register to be part of the walk or the run. You should be able to find all of those links right there on that page.
Yeah.
We hope to see you in the morning wearing a little purple.
Little purple, there it is. So that's happening on tomorrow. Make sure you get out there if you want to be a part of that as well. It's going to be an amazing time. I do want to announce our in-studio guests that are here with us on today. And so we have the Hamers with us today. Amen. Niles, and she's a grandma night. I'm just going to say it.
Charmaine.
No, I don't want to do that.
She doesn't get a name.
She don't get a name.
Right.
It's
She don't get a name.
Charmaine.
It's November. It's too close
It's
to the class.
too close to Bayou Classic, so we got to do this. We got to do this. So she don't get a name. She's just going to just be Niles' wife
You
today.
call me Gremlin.
I'm definitely not doing that. That is a negative. That is not going to happen here on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Matter of fact, no. How about? That's a negative. That won't happen. That won't happen. Nah, I'd rather call you Charmaine.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a clever way to get him to say your
you.
name.
Thank you.
Shout
She
out.
did.
Shout out
All
to
right.
you. Yeah, good job.
Yeah. And then of course Niles. Man, it's so good to have you guys on the show today.
I feel like I'm back. We did this last year. It was the Friday before the classic.
It
when we did
was.
this, and it was by phone. And I told you next time
Yep.
I will be live in studio.
You did say that
I'm
you're
a
a man
of
of-
my word. There you go.
There it
you
is.
go.
There it is. You know, that could segue to him being a man of his word. We need a man of his word in office, holding down the judge seat as well on the bench. Need
That's
somebody
right.
who
That's
is-
right. 4 days until election day.
Yeah.
You know, it seemed like this campaign has gone on forever. It's a presidential election year,
Yeah.
and congressional elections, and I'm way at the bottom of the ballot running for Baton Rouge City Court Judge.
Come on. Yeah.
So
62 on the ticket.
number 62 on the ballot is a citywide seat, so Desiree probably would not be able to vote for me because she lives in Baker. But it's the city of Baton Rouge. It's not Baker, not Zachary, not St. George, not Central. Just the city of Baton Rouge
Yeah.
can weigh in on this election. But there's over 100,000 registered voters in the city of Baton Rouge by itself, not including all the other cities within this parish. So we're expecting a high voter turnout, although the numbers with African Americans with early voting
pretty
was
low.
down.
Yeah.
I'm still expecting for people to come out on election day. So there's a lot of hope there. So we got to get your listeners out to vote on election day. That's your last chance. If you have grievances, you don't talk about it at the election day. You talk about it before you cast your ballot.
Yeah.
So that's how you complain. You
Yeah.
go cast the ballot. So I'm hoping that people go out and vote for number 62 on the ballot, Niles Hamer, City Court Judge.
Yeah. But tell the people who is Niles Hamer.
So I practiced law for over 20 years right here in Baton Rouge. Was born in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Attended Southern University in 1996.
Yeah.
I graduated in the year 2000 from Southern University and graduated from Southern University Law Center in 2003. So I'm a two-time Southern University.
All right. Unlike some other folk, but we won't talk about
Unlike
them right
some
now.
other folks.
Yeah.
So, I did see back in the day, back in 2003, you can go on a blind date. I don't know how they date these days, but you can really truly have a blind date. They have some other mechanism, some apps or something. But I had a blind date. And
So you didn't swipe to the left nor to the right?
I didn't know what swiping was. Then. Somebody told me, hey, my cousin's in town. Y'all will look good together. Go on a date. So we went on this blind date, and I met my wife.
Oh, wow.
And she's perfect for me. We do well 364 days a year. Except for Saturday.
Yes. Of what month?
November.
Yes.
And we're in November, so I got to be
What takes place the last Saturday of the month in November?
Bayou Classic. We've had 50 Bayou Classics. This year will be the 51st Bayou Classic. And there's a lot of shenanigans that goes on in the Hamer household during the Bayou Classic.
So how many Bayou Classics have there been some chaos and mayhem in the Hamer's house?
So our very first Bayou Classic together was 2004.
Oh, wow.
So this is 20 years for us.
Oh, wow.
20 years of Bayou Classic.
That's a lot of chaos.
And that was a time I was too scared to tell my wife I didn't want to buy tickets on Grambling side, but years have passed. I gained a little confidence, and I'm like, well, no.
This movie, I'm putting my foot down.
I'm putting my foot down. So now we do every other year. We do Southern side 1 year, Grambling side 1 year.
So who turn is it this year?
It's Grambling's turn this year.
I think we did Grambling.
No, we did Grambling last year. So
Was it?
Southern turns this year.
Yeah, sure. I remember that.
Yeah, we sat next to the band. So oh wow. But so the Bayou Classic is big in our household. We have 3 children, boy-girl twins. They're in high school at Baton Rouge Magnet High School. We have a little boy at Glasgow Middle School. All our kids attend East Baton Rouge Parish Public School.
That's important.
Yes, very important. So we are part of the fabric of this community. The kids are kind of torn on which school to cheer for. My daughter cheers for Grambling, of course. My oldest son cheers for Southern.
Yeah.
And my youngest son, he's Switzerland. He wants to be neutral. He wants no parts.
Yeah, I don't blame him. Yeah.
He wants no parts. And, part of my hobbies, we do these TikToks about the Classic, and it's been great. They've gone viral, but this is the last year of TikToks for us because my wife is like, you
done, Jermaine?
She's done.
I'm done.
Really? But they are so hilarious. Really?
They're so popular that when we go to the game, that's all we're doing is taking selfies.
Wow.
Enjoy
taking
the game.
selfies.
Yeah.
I enjoy it, but I know my wife is like, all right, I just want to be
Enough's enough.
Just one of the people here.
Yeah.
Just not anything higher than that. But I've been doing this for a while as far as practicing law. I've worked in Baton Rouge City Court. I'm a former city court prosecutor, and I prosecuted cases there. I represented the defendants there as a private attorney.
Sure.
In city court, we do collection actions, we do evictions, we do civil suits as long as it's not over $35,000, and I've done all of that. I'm actually the only candidate in the race who's actually worked in city court and have handled thousands of cases in city court. So I feel like I'm qualified, I'm experienced, and I know I'm ready to take on this role. So November the 5th is only 4 days away, 4 days away. And the city court race is important, just like the presidential race. But I was just saying before we went on air, how many of the people that are listening are going to actually have a chance to sit down and talk to Kamala Harris? Probably not many of them. But you're going to see your city court judge in the community, going to see him at court, because just because you come to court doesn't mean it's bad. We handle the traffic tickets in city court as well.
Oh, really?
Yes, we do the traffic tickets.
My man!
Yes. See, they're already trying to get in good with me. But we do handle the traffic tickets. But one of the issues we have in the city of Baton Rouge, we have over 100,000 outstanding traffic bench warrants.
Oh, wow.
And we need to kind of take that in a little bit.
Yeah.
So, we'll be able to talk about that a little bit more.
Yeah, definitely, because I would like to hear your plans and your strategy and what you bring to the bench once you get there.
I can do that.
You heard what I said, huh? Oh, okay. Stick around, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. More with the Kingdom Hour Radio Show.
It's the Kingdom Hour on WABL and WPFC. Keep it locked.
This is Antonio Neal, and I love listening to Scripture Radio on WABL 1570 AM and 97.3 FM. 1 John 2:12 through 14. I write to you, little children,
because your sins are forgiven you for his name's sake. I write to you, fathers, because you have known him who is from the beginning. I write to you, young men, because you have overcome the wicked one. I write to you, little children, because you have known the Father. I have written to you, fathers, because you have known him who is from the beginning. I have written to you, young men, because you are strong, and the word of God abides in you, and you have overcome the wicked one.
It's the Kingdom Hour on WABL and WPFC. Keep it locked.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. I'm your host, Apostle Keith. We're live and direct in L Studios housed at Elevate Church of Baton Rouge, 10957 Greenwell Springs Road. It happens every Friday at 4:30. Matter of fact, do me a favor, go over to Facebook, like, share, tag, give us a thumbs up. We have moderators to moderate your comments in the box. So if you have a comment about today's show, you can do so by leaving it in the comment in the box below. If you're on YouTube, there's a box over to the right. You can leave your comments there as well. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified every time we go live with a new show on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show as well. Leave us a review. Tell us what your thoughts are. If you'd like to be a part of today's show, simply dial the number 225-406-7674. Again, that's 225-406-7674. If you have a question, a comment, maybe even for our guests, the nows, you can call right now, 225-406-7674. You can always leave us an email, send us one at info@kingdomhour.com. Welcome back to the Kingdom Hour Radio Show.
It's the Kingdom Hour.
Live and direct in the studio with us on today is, he's married to a gremlin. But we're going to forgive him for that.
Please forgive me for that.
We're going to forgive him for that.
There are some Gremlinites that vote in Baton Rouge.
They do. My wife, not anymore, but we're in Gonzales now. But she's a Gremlinite as well.
She's a Gremlinite. Yeah. She's a voter.
She is. She is.
So it's all love until the Bayou Classic.
Indeed. Well, it's no love in my house all year round because every day I remind her she's a Gremlinite.
Yes.
Yeah. But my daughter is there as well, so.
Okay.
So your money is there too.
You had to remind me, huh?
Yes. We appreciate you.
There's a mute button around here somewhere.
The places we sow our seeds.
So, how's it been like for you, Charmaine, on this campaign trail and this whole process for you?
Tell the truth.
Wow, the campaign trail. I've learned a lot of lessons. We've worked really hard, but I can say working with your husband and believing in this mission, it keeps me going.
Yeah.
So I'm not a politician. I don't enjoy politics at all, but I enjoy being a wife and a mother, and I do believe in Niles. He is ready for this. And when he told me he was running, once I got over the initial shock, I was the next thought was, oh, well, this makes sense. This is right for you. So I've never had any doubts, and that's why I give 100%.
Wow. And we make a perfect team because she's my campaign manager. When I said I was going to do this, I looked at her. She's in computer science. She's a project manager, and a project manager usually.
Oh, so she made you a project?
Yeah, she made me a project. Usually they keep everything organized, on schedule, and plan out things for the near future, and that's what she's done. And I hadn't been happier to have her right by my side throughout this whole experience because she's at the forums. We had one forum here at Elevate, and she was here. And she was. I like that. I missed that, but I like
that's
that.
okay.
Our first campaign team has been our 3 children.
Yes, and our campaign team, my 3 children,
Nice.
and I pay my campaign team with pizza on Friday. Little thin slices.
Little thin slices, right.
Yeah, they help save money, but the whole family has been a part of this campaign.
That's awesome.
We have some people in the community that really believe in us, that are pushing us through. The love that we're getting from the citizens of Baton Rouge, I'll never be able to repay.
Yeah.
This has been a good experience. I like to tell people, if you want to run for public office, you want to be a public servant.
Come on.
You know, the campaigning part is the hard part of it, but at the same time, you get to meet people in the community, and you get to make some connections that you didn't have before. So I do enjoy it.
In the last couple of minutes, you know, I asked you a question before on the other side of the break. What you bringing to the bench?
So we were talking about those 100,000 bench warrants. So there's over 100,000 bench warrants on traffic matters, a majority of traffic. And what happens when you get a bench warrant, when you don't go to court, when you get that traffic ticket, your driver's license gets suspended. Yeah. And when your driver's license is suspended, then more than likely you're not going to have insurance or registration, so you're driving on the roads, and it's a public safety hazard because you don't have the right papers, and you can be arrested at any time because you have a bench warrant. I want to bring those bench warrants down. There's a fear of Baton Rouge City Court that if you go in and you don't have enough money to pay your fine, you're going to go to jail. I don't believe in that. I believe in working with the community. We've all been there. We shouldn't go to jail for traffic. So my goal is to bring down the traffic warrants.
Wait, hold up now. You said we all been there. Well, I ain't been to jail before now.
I didn't say jail. We've been to a point where we don't have money to pay our
Oh, okay. I thought you said been to jail.
No.
This dude right here ain't built for jail. I'm just letting y'all know right now.
Me either. Me either. But we've been to the point where we didn't have money to take care of our business. Yeah. So we don't have a debtor's prison in Baton Rouge. So we should be working with our citizens to get them to the point where they can take care of their business. And I'm happy to be running for a Baton Rouge City Court judge because I think I can make the difference. And we all together can make a change. So I'm Niles Hamer. I'm number 62 on the ballot. Yeah. Baton Rouge City Court judge.
You heard it right here on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. It is Niles Hamer. 62 on your ballot. Get out and vote. Do your due diligence. November 5th.
November
Tuesday.
5th.
Tuesday, 4 days away.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Make it happen.
And go SU. I didn't say GSU. I said SU.
Okay.
Okay.
But he did marry GSU. Don't forget. And you did too.
We did.
We did. Yeah.
We did.
We did.
So
we married up. We married up. We did.
Yeah,
we did. Unfortunately, it just went to grandma, but that's okay. We'll just take that for now. Don't go anywhere. Stick around. We have another special guest in studio and a surprise guest that'll be joining us today here on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Don't go anywhere. Hang out with us just a little bit longer.
Join us for the Kingdom Hour Radio Show with the Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew. Live on Fridays at 4:30 on WABL 97.3 FM, WABL 1570, and WPFC 1550. Proclaiming the kingdom, preaching the truth, and transforming culture.
1 John 2:12 through 14. I write to you, little children, because your sins are forgiven you for his name's sake. I write to you, fathers, because you have known him who is from the beginning. I write to you, young men, because you have overcome the wicked one. I write to you, little children, because you have known the Father. I have written to you, fathers, because you have known him who is from the beginning. I have written to you, young men, because you are strong, and the word of God abides in you, and you have overcome the wicked one.
It's the Kingdom Hour on WABL and WPFC. Keep it locked.
This is Mommy Moments with the Glamazon Mom.
Our country is at a crossroad. Parents, this is a time to stand strong and let your voice and your vote be heard. This is a time to not shield your children from what's happening in our country, but a time to show them leadership so that they'll know how to pass on that torch to their children and children's children for generations to come. Let's stop this cycle. And in the words of one activist, it's time to plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. And that begins on the state and local level. I'm Ebony Funderburk, your Glamazon mom, saying stay strong and vote.
That's a mommy moment. Be a Glamazon mom. Like our fan page and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Glamazon Moms. And remember, not all superheroes wear capes. Glamazon Mom.
The hour cometh, and now it's the Kingdom Hour.
That's right. You heard it. It's the Kingdom Hour Radio Show, live and direct on all of your digital streaming platforms, as well as WABL, WPFC, WTQT. We're all over the place. 1550, 1570, 106.1, 97.3. I mean, yeah, that's what we're doing. Yeah, multi-streaming platforms. Yep, it's the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Make sure you like, share, follow, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of that jive. If you would, for the Kingdom Hour Radio Show, we would appreciate it. Leave us a review as well. Don't forget, coming up, we have Church Taboo Topics. What is Church Taboo Topics? Well, Church Taboo Topics is the tough topics that you would love to talk about, but don't have the space, the place, the courage, or maybe even the people to talk about it with. Well, we talk about it right here on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. So get your fingers ready to dial 225-406-7674 is the number to dial for Church Taboo Topics. And we may get an opportunity to jump into some Bless Up or Mess Up, which is new music that we're going to air here on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Give you, the listening audience and viewing audience, an opportunity to weigh in on that music to let us know if it's a bless up or if it's a mess up. If it's a bless up, what are we going to do, Desiree?
We're going to celebrate and get excited and play it again and again.
But what if it's a mess up?
We're going to intercede on their behalf.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Yeah. It's going to be one of those kind of, awkward moments. Yeah. So that's what's going to happen. Bless up or mess up. You can call in, let us know when that time comes what your thoughts are about new music that we're going to play here. If you have some suggestions for new music, you can send that to info@kingdomhour.com. We would love to hear your suggestions about that, maybe for our Kingdom Hour Radio Show Church Taboo Topics segment as well. I'm excited and honored, and I'm privileged. I'm a privileged kid today, y'all. I'm a privileged kid, King's kid. We have none other than the amazing, the icon, Maxine Crump.
I know, I'm so excited.
I know, me too.
Okay.
I'm bubbling over. I'm yeah. Hello there, Lady Crump.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
It's so good to have you here at the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Yeah.
Glad to be here.
Really? Not. This ain't your first radio interview, huh?
No.
No? It's going to be your best one, though.
All right.
We're going to cut up.
All right. I look forward to that.
Hey, that's what I'm talking about, the anticipation, the expectation of cutting up. Tell the folk who you are. I know who you are, but tell the people who you is.
Well, I'm a lot of things. But right now,
What's she say right now?
I'm president and CEO of Dialogue on Race, Louisiana.
Yeah. And how did that come about?
I led the design of a program called Dialogue on Race Original Series.
Mm-hmm.
And after some years of doing the program, then we became an organization, which is Dialogue on Race Louisiana, and that was 12 years ago.
Yeah. Tell us about, your journey with, racism and all of that. How did you matriculate?
I was born
through?
in America.
That's a good start. Yes, that's yeah.
In the Deep South.
Uh-huh.
Descendant of slaves. So yeah.
Wow.
And most people correct me, enslaved people, but in America, they were called slaves.
Indeed. Yeah. Wow.
But they were people. They were my people.
My people too.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Us
I
melanated
thought all y'all
folk.
had African people. See, that's what I've been hearing. All these African. We were
Kings and queens.
I said, well,
Well, somebody had to be a pauper and a peasant.
well,
Can't be
enslaved
kings.
people were not paupers or peasants.
Well, I'm just saying, when somebody say, hey, king, queen, we're all kings and queens. Well, who are your subjects? I'm sorry. Did I say that out loud? That's just my thoughts.
We all heard it. Your thoughts came out.
You did? Okay.
They came out.
We're on the Kingdom Hour, so we are kings and queens on the Kingdom Hour.
Absolutely, Miles. Notice this.
I stand adjusted.
Well, praise God. So how can folks find out more information about your organization and tell us about the mission of the organization?
To end racism, which I heard from so many people throughout my life that can never happen. Well, if you define a problem improperly, then from the standpoint of believing that it's in people's hearts, then no, you'll never solve it. But it isn't. It was a systemic setup in the American society. And it can be ended. If it can be built, it can be dismantled.
Ooh, I like that.
Well, it's a fact.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah.
Wow, if it can be built, it can be dismantled.
Yeah, and it was built.
Yeah.
From the founding.
Wow. Come on.
Well, once you declared a nation, and it was quite a fight and a courageous battle for 13 small colonies to go after the largest nation on the planet at that time and actually win.
Yeah.
I mean, what made them think they could do that? But they did. Where's the bravery, you know? So all of that. But once they declared themselves a free nation, they decided, well, now who are the citizens? So
Yeah.
they said, well, who's not going to be the citizens will be those who are enslaved and those who are indigenous of the land,
Yeah.
and the Native Americans. So once you say who's left out, then you have decided that the ones who are in are the real citizens, and at that time they were white. And that was the beginning of building a hierarchy, and it's still the same hierarchy now.
Wow.
Because it was never dismantled. People say, well, a lot of laws were passed. They were, but the laws did not have enforcement. The Civil Rights Law did not have enforcement. Where was the enforcement? People say, well, you could go to court. That's not enforcement.
No.
Yeah, you might win in court,
Yeah.
but it doesn't affect that particular law. It doesn't give it enforcement.
Wow.
It just says, hey, we know we discriminated against you, but if you can prove it, take us to court.
Yeah. Tell us about your own life experiences. Of course, you know, being melanated here in America, have you experienced some of those things yourself? Or
Of
tell
course.
Us, yeah. You care to give?
You want? Well, I guess the best story that most people know is that I'm a descendant of those who were enslaved by Georgetown and sold to America, to Louisiana, 272 enslaved people. And the first name on the docket was my fifth great-grandfather, Isaac Hawkins, and his son Patrick and his son Cornelius. All were on that St. Catherine boat coming to Louisiana. And also his cousins and nephews and uncles. And so a lot of Hawkins were in there.
Yeah.
My grandmother is the Hawkins, and so she married a Crump, so that's why I'm Maxine Crump. So that history I didn't know about until 2016, when the students protesting Michael Brown's death protested at Georgetown about that history. Now, Georgetown had been telling that history every year to the freshmen, but it hadn't struck a real chord until Michael Brown. And they said, well, then we want these names down off the building of those people who enslaved people and sold them in Louisiana to save the university. We do not want them representing our buildings. So they fought and won that fight. And then there was one alum from Georgetown who said, well, is that it? Y'all okay now? And they said, well, no, we're not. So he said, well, do you want to know where the descendants of those people are? And the answer was that they didn't make it, that they died en route to Louisiana. I don't know. How's such a story?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're sitting right here as a descendant and you're hearing that, you just know that something really crazy that happened there. But actually, Georgetown did have the actual facts in the archive, but that was a story that had gotten out. So in 2016, I found out, and then the New York Times heard about it, and I was the first descendant that was interviewed about it.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's a big part of my story.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Now, Desiree brought up about your LSU story. You care to elaborate about that?
Well, my father, who
Yeah.
is the Hawkins, he's, Hawkins Crump, he was active in civil rights movement and voter rights movement, particularly in Hippouville Parish, where they were fighting for the right to vote. They could vote if they could pass a test, but the test was bogus. And so it was very hard to pass, and people were very fearful of going down and failing the test. And a lot of people were failing it if they could get in.
Yeah.
And so they started a registration drive, and they brought in the Congress of Racial Equality to help them with the drive. And my father was a part of all of that. So he used to say to us all the time, LSU uses the tax money that we pay to keep it white. And my children can't go there, and it's not right because I pay taxes too. And that made sense to me. And so the year that the year after desegregation passed, which was after the March on Washington, and and the voting rights movement in Plaquemine. And so after the civil rights law passed, and I'd heard my dad say that all the time, he said, well, would you like to go to LSU? And I didn't even blink. I said, yes. And then he said, do you want to live on campus? And I said, yes. I didn't know I was going to be the only African-American living in women's housing.
Oh, wow.
At the time, yes.
Yeah. Well, I would love to hear what happened next when this beautiful young lady steps on the campus and she endures. Yeah, we're going to find out next. Y'all don't go anywhere. Stick around. It's the Kingdom Hour Radio Show.
Join us for the Kingdom Hour Radio Show with Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew. Live on Fridays at 4:30 on WABL 97.3 FM, WABL 1570, and WPFC 1550. Proclaiming the kingdom, preaching the truth, and transforming culture. Hour cometh, and now it's the Kingdom Hour.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. I'm your host, Apostle Keith. I told y'all we had some special guests in the building with us today. We started off with Niles Heyman. Yeah, that one. I'm just... Yep. Them doggone GSU folk. You know what? Let me call my wife.
You better.
I better. She's probably listening right now, like
Yes.
shaking her head. My daughter's listening now, and she's like, "Don't do it, Daddy." Yeah. Get out and vote. Yep. Niles Hamer, number 62 on the ballot. Get out and vote. But I'm excited. Across from the Hamers, it's none other than Miss Maxine Crump. And she was sharing her LSU story. I can't wait to hear what happened. This, bright-eyed, beautiful young lady steps on LSU campus with all this melanated stuff in her.
I almost want her to save it for the movie, the biopic.
Ooh,
that would be great. Wouldn't that be
I
great?
can see that.
Yes.
Ooh.
You get to pick who would play your role. That would be wonderful.
Who would you want? Halle Berry. Oh, as the younger.
Yeah.
Zendaya as
Miss Crump is like, who's Zendaya?
right.
That's right. I am asking that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Lisa Bonet and Lenny Kravitz's daughter.
Yeah, that would be
That's
great.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. The biopic.
Yeah, the biopic.
I love it.
I'm putting my stamp on it. I want my name somewhere. In the
Yeah, you
biopic.
get it. Yeah, and you heard it first here on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Yeah. Wow. Maybe we get to produce that.
Yes.
Ooh. Did I say something? Okay. So finish telling us about this LSU thing. Yeah. How'd it go at LSU?
This was in the summer, what was called Freedom Summer.
Yeah.
When other black college students my age were making moves or doing things like getting involved in voter registration drive and things like that. And I wanted to be a part of that. And so I guess when my dad asked me to go to LSU, I thought, oh, I'm getting to do something, So, and so going to the dorm, honestly did not know I would be the only one. So I walked in there just the same way I did when I went to first grade. I jumped out the car and never looked back. My parents, I finally glanced at them and they're looking sad. I'm thinking, what are they looking like that for?
Be happy.
They knew what I didn't know.
Wow.
So I was very naive at 18. And, but I didn't find out until later that I was in a dorm that was a very small dorm, kind of an exclusive dorm that they had packed with people from New York, California, people who had been to desegregated schools before, people who were in the arts, people that would not have a challenge with being in the dorm with me. So, and then some students from other parts of the country too, other parts of the world. And so it felt just kind of normal to me, because they treated me like normal until I realized by the summer, one student asked me, she said, why are you so angry? And I didn't realize I had devolved into a very angry person. And I'm not the type who react and go, I'm not angry. I'm the type who go, wonder why they said that.
Yeah.
So I was thinking,
self-reflection.
what? Yeah. And so it finally came to me And I said, because y'all don't let me be black. You try to treat me as if I'm not black. And that makes me feel invisible.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't know what to do with that. So, the answer when people don't have another answer is, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. So that went nowhere. It didn't help me, but at least I had an answer. And I became less angry because I'd spoken it. And then I joined Harambee and things like that. So actually, my experience on campus was almost too benign because I wasn't sure when I went there whether I was going to be shot like Medgar Evers, and not Medgar Evers, the one that went to Mississippi. I can't call his name right now. But, or beaten or spit on, called names. None of that happened.
Oh, wow.
So it was almost not an exciting story at that level.
Yeah.
But what was going on was, so the campus was gradually becoming active. And so the activism on campus, there was still the status quo group, like the sororities and fraternities were very status quo. And I remember someone said something about someone being with me, and I overheard someone else say to him, you're going to be blackballed. And I said, what is blackballed? And they said, well, he's from his fraternity.
Yeah.
And it's like, I still, I had to learn a lot too. So it was an exchange of learning that was there. So, but it didn't make him any difference. He was still hanging with the group of us who did things together. So, but it was there, the status quo was there, but then also there was this movement building. So I knew how to find my community. I'm Catholic, so the Newman Center was the Center for Catholics, and so I found a home there. And I was always finding a home, and I found a home in the dorm, and so I made it. I was there to learn and not there to be an activist. As I told my mother that the rest of the other college students who were not on campus was telling me that I wasn't being black enough. I wasn't being activist enough. I wasn't wearing a dashiki and an afro. And I said, my hair doesn't do afro. But I didn't say that to them because I wasn't going to defend myself.
Right.
And so I told my mother about that, and she said, well, you're being an activist. You're there.
Wow.
I'm thinking, okay, I can relax and just do my work here because it was hard.
Wow.
Let me just say that Ms. Crump has a dialogue on race series. My wife and I have been a part of those sessions through Leadership Baton Rouge.
Oh.
She's in it this year. I was in it last year. When I tell you it is profound, it's something that we all need to be a part of. Kudos to you and the dialogue on race. Everybody in Baton Rouge needs to be a part of that and hear what you have to say.
Thank you so much, Niles, because that came out of all of my experience.
See,
Yeah.
biopic is coming.
It's coming. Look at that. There you go.
That was at the Breck. I mean, that was at the gallery for the commemoration of the swim-in. And I'll tell you a story on that. When they decided they wanted to do that, they came to me and told me, what did I think of the idea? I think it's great. And I said, but if I'm going to be a part of it, if I'm going to bring dialogue on race into this, I will tell you something, that it has to be led by the people who were the victims of that closed pool.
Wow. There you go.
And I said, and they said, well, okay, well, how do we start? And I said, well, you start by inviting them to have a conversation with you before you make any other plans. And that's what we did. And now the Baton Rouge Gallery won an award.
Oh, wow.
For that. And then at the state summit, the state art summit, they invited us in to talk about how did the art community join a non-art organization to put on something like this kind of commemoration. And one of the things I told them, I said, all the commemorations of things around civil rights in Baton Rouge had been led by those who were white, who were trying to compensate for the problem. And then after that was all planned, they said, well, who are we going to invite from the community? And I said, that's not going to happen here. And it didn't, and it was great.
So how can folk find out more information about your organization?
Well, there's a website.
Yeah.
It's Dialogue on Race Louisiana, and we have it to make it really easy. It's just DOR.LA.
Gotcha. You can go to DOR.LA to get more information about dialogue on race in Louisiana. So great to have
and
you.
have Niles' experience.
Yes,
There you
great
go.
experience.
There you go. That's right. And the biopic coming soon.
Yeah,
And
biopic coming
Desiree's
soon.
experience as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, stick around, guys. We got more in store. We got a special in-studio guest with us today. She's going to be approaching the mic here on the other side of the break. This is the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Don't go anywhere.
Join us for the Kingdom Hour radio show with Apostle Keith and the Kingdom Crew. Live on Fridays at 4:30 on WABL 97.3 FM, WABL 1570, and WPFC 1550. Proclaiming the kingdom, preaching the truth, and transforming culture.
1 John 2:12 through 14. I write to you, little children, because your sins are forgiven you for his name's sake. I write to you, fathers, because you have known him who is from the beginning. I write to you, young men, because you have overcome the wicked one. I write to you, little children, because you have known the Father. I have written to you, fathers, because you have known him who is from the beginning. I have written to you, young men, because you are strong, and the word of God abides in you, and you have overcome the wicked one.
It's the Kingdom Hour with Apostle Keith.
According to our investigators.
Welcome back to the Kingdom Hour radio show. Get your fingers ready to dial 225-406-7674 is the number to dial today. Yep, if you want to be a part of today's show. Of course, coming up in a few short moments, we're going to also have church taboo topics, as well as right after the Kingdom Hour radio show, it's the Kingdom After Hour. You're wondering what's the Kingdom After Hour? Well, it's the hour after the Kingdom Hour. It's where we have raw, uncut, unscripted dialogue and have a conversation just to have it for you, the digital streaming space. That's right. We just talk about it to talk about it. We just talk about it. Yeah. Follow up. The Kingdom Hour show is the Kingdom After Hour. Special guest with us today, none other than the illustrious, the Honorable Mayor Sharon Broome is with us on today. Greetings, Mayor. How are you?
Greetings, Apostle. I am great.
Oh,
it's a fantastic Friday.
Well, you done added a new one. We say Friday, like yay is Friday,
okay.
And it's a fantastic Friday.
Yes, it is.
I love it. Another one.
That sounds better.
It does. I like that one. We're going to have to use that one. Another fantastic Friday. Yeah. I like that. I don't know, Desiree. I lost you. Say something.
Fantastic Friday.
Oh, I don't know. You just sound faint. Did you do something?
Fantastic Friday.
Oh, okay. There you go.
You have to say it with the voice inflection, though. Try it again.
Yeah.
Say it good.
It's you good.
You have to say Fantastic Friday.
No, I don't want to. The mayor made it sound so elegant.
That's right.
Hey, it's about her now. Stop.
Okay.
Mayor, it's so good to have you here in the studio. I know you have a lot going on with the campaign up. 4 more days like now's. You guys are really out there hitting the streets doing some things. But I wanted to take the opportunity to bring you in just to talk about some of the great things that's been done thus far. And, you're for re-election. Why do we need to re-elect Sharon Weston Broome?
Well, because Sharon Weston Broome has been a mayor for the people. Yeah. Sharon Weston Broome has, as one young sister said not long ago, receipts. That means that I can show the work that we've accomplished over the past 8 years, the successes, the achievements, and I can give you that litany of achievements and successes. But we also are focused on the future for Baton Rouge. We are going to build on those successes and achievements. And as I often say, Apostle, you cannot be a leader and not recognize challenges that you have as well. And so I tell my team that we celebrate the triumphs and we tackle the challenges all the time. And when I think about my past 8 years in office, I think more about the positives, not neglecting the challenges, but I see the glass as very full. I see it beyond half full. I see the glass is full. And I see the future of Baton Rouge as being very bright. I have to tell you, this morning I started my morning out at Gardere Christian School. And we all know the Gardere area. Over the years, it was a very challenged area. But the Sheriff's Department, the people at the Gardere Initiative, Dr. Harrison, this new school, all of them just transformed that area. And now when you go there, you see all of the potential and possibilities.
Yeah.
So I was there this morning. They were having a groundbreaking for phase 1 of their new school. And can I tell you, those children, primarily black and brown children, were just stellar in their approach and their optimism, and it just really infused me because I know they're going to be future mayors, attorneys, council persons, pastors, etc. I could just see it all over them. It's good when you can look at children and see that the potential. But on the other hand, we cannot neglect those children who need a hand up, right? In terms of us reaching out and offering a response. And so that's why I get very excited about our summer youth program.
Yeah.
Because over the 8 years, we've had, I want to say, at least 2,000 young people who have been served over the summer, who've had jobs and opportunities. And it's just not about them, making a stipend or a dollar or getting a paycheck, but these young people are coupled with businesses. And when they go to those businesses, they can see possibilities for their future. It gives them exposure. And in addition to that, they get professional development and empowerment sessions. So we have to, and I don't want to sound like a cliche, I should say, but we have to really lean in and uplift the entire village.
Yeah.
No matter what their zip code is. And that's something that's very near and dear to my heart and work that I have done over the past 8 years. I feel like I'm going on and on. If you will,
No, absolutely. But I mean, you have been a servant leader in our community for a number of years, not just in the mayor seat. Yes, beyond decades. Yeah, a long time. And I've known you for a long time. You've done a lot of great work. But I want to know what saddens you the most when you think about our city? What breaks your heart about our city?
Well, because I'm the ultimate optimist, I try to see the potential.
Sure.
But the things that challenge me, I get a little disheartened about, is when we as a community don't see the potential of who we can be, of the future Baton Rouge. Listen, everyone here who is at this table, you wouldn't be here if you didn't believe in Baton Rouge at some level. You wouldn't be running for judge. You wouldn't be a councilwoman. You wouldn't be a pastor if you didn't feel something positive about this place where you want to, that you want to be a part of. Yeah. And so I think too many times we do not lean into our own unique identity as a city and parish. I've participated for years where we go on these canvas trips, they call them, sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce. And we look at other cities and, see what they have and come back and see if we can apply some of what we saw or learned to Baton Rouge. And all that is good. Exposure is always good. But we need to be a city that invites people to come and take a look at us. Yeah. Because we are a very unique city and community. A couple of months ago, I brought 150 mayors and other participants to Baton Rouge for the Mississippi River Cities and Towns Initiative. These people were ranting and raving about Baton Rouge. Wow. And we started our first session on the bluffs of Southern University. And all they could do was
not
just
Grambling.
It was Southern, the Southern University. And so, all they could do was rant and rave about their whole experience here in Baton Rouge. And they came from the Midwest. We had a few southern cities, but all over the country. Our common denominator is that we all had the Mississippi River in our city or town. But I think we need to look at our unique identity. We are a capital city. We have the best food in the world. We are on the Mississippi River. We have two outstanding universities. We have a strong culture here in Baton Rouge. And sometimes things are so close to us that we can't see what we have. And it takes people from the outside to come and say, hey, you got a lot going on in this city.
Right.
And so that kind of disheartens me when we don't value what we have, when we allow the trials, tests, and challenges to outweigh the positive aspects of our city. Because I believe in my vision, and people can laugh if they want to, or they can be a part of it. I believe we have the potential to be the best mid-sized city in America.
I agree. And we've had some challenges, but we overcome. Yeah. And I think as you embark upon this re-election, I look forward to us advance even further.
Absolutely. That's my vision.
Yeah. So share the vision of future Baton Rouge. When you sleep at night and you envision Baton Rouge, the Bible says that the people perish for lack of knowledge and vision. So where there's no vision, the people perish. So when you sleep at night, what do you envision for Baton Rouge?
Well, I envision a Baton Rouge where those areas of disinvestment no longer look like they're disinvested, that they are thriving, that we see elimination of blight, we see more home ownership. I envision a city where there's more unity. I spoke to a person, a young person who's making his mark as a young professional, and I asked him, have you ever been to the Bluffs of Southern University? And he had not, but he's in a leadership role with young professionals. And I said, you need to see the Bluffs of Southern University. It's the most scenic view of the Mississippi River in this whole city and town.
Yeah.
So I say that to say, when I talk about unity, we need to, come from 70805 to 70802 or 16, whatever, and come together. Now, we did do that, and it proved to be a very wonderful experience when we recently had our neighborhood convention. That was an opportunity for neighborhoods all over. You were there to come together, and it was a very positive experience because neighborhoods, we found out no matter what the zip code, they had the same goals and shared visions, things that they want for their community. They want a safe community. They want to know how they can mitigate certain issues that they deal with. But it also brought us together in a spirit of one accord, because these were folks who they didn't seem like they were trying to leave Baton Rouge. They want to stay and make it a better place, make their neighborhood a better place.
Yeah. Wow. And that's one way we can keep our youth from, having this mass exodus heading to other states and whatnot, and bring in more e-commerce, and that's an awesome thing.
So Apostle Keith, I've been practicing law for 20 years, and I've had to work hard on my closing arguments before a jury. What I've learned in campaigning, you have closing arguments as well, and I think the mayor has it down pat where you stay positive. When you talk about a glass half full, everybody's talking about how the glass is half empty in Baton Rouge.
Right.
The mayor is staying very positive in her closing argument. So I feel like 20 years of legal experience is nothing when the mayor can get up here and make a very good closing arguments before the jury, which is the people of Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Esquire.
Judge Hamer.
You're welcome, Madam Mayor.
So why should the people get out and vote?
Well, they need to vote, period.
Yeah.
Not just for me, but we've got judges, folks who want to be judges on the ballot. We've got the President of the United States. That's very critical. And so, I've been told, Apostle, that the younger people don't want to hear anymore about how our forefathers fought for us to, for the right to vote. They're like, nobody don't want to hear that anymore. Well, I still think it's something we need to hear. That people came before us to provide this path for us. One reason you should vote. The other reason you should vote is because people who are in elected office in various spheres of influence influence the trajectory of your life.
Come on, say that again for the people in the back.
They influence the trajectory of your life. So if you don't participate in the process, and then when someone is elected and they start promulgating laws or policies that are opposite to your goals and what you want to achieve in life, then you can't say anything. You know, we keep getting, and I don't have it in my hand, I left my cell phone over there, the number of people who early voted. Yeah. You know, the contrast, you know, in terms of folks who went out to vote and those who didn't early vote. Yeah. Now, I'm believing, because I'm the ultimate optimist, that everybody's going to come out on 4 days from now on November the 5th and make it happen. But we got to be part of the solution.
Yeah.
You know, it's easy to be an armchair quarterback.
Come on.
Mm-hmm. It's easy to complain. Mm-hmm. It's easy, but let's all get together and create what we want to see for the place that we live. And, you know, I have the privilege right now of, in 4 more years, looking forward to 4 more years, of serving as the CEO and the mayor president of the city and parish. But guess what? While I have a responsibility, I'm just part of the equation. Citizens are part of the equation as well. Nonprofits, faith-based community, all of us play a role in creating the type of city and parish that we all want to see.
That's good. Wow. Scripture says when the righteous are in rule, the city rejoices. Yes. Yeah. One thing I love about our mayor president, she's a praying woman. Matter of fact, on Wednesdays, Winning Wednesdays, every Wednesday at 7:30, you can find the mayor giving an encouraging word and praying.
15 minutes.
It's 15. Yeah, but it's good, powerful pack. 15 minutes.
No, I'm not minimizing.
Oh yeah, no man, there's some nuggets. Yeah, matter of fact, I'm gonna be using some of them points in my sermon list.
Apostle, and we've been doing it for 4 years. 4 years consistently.
Yeah. Amazing, amazing. Well, tell them your position on the ballot, your number, and
I have a great number.
What number you got?
Number 33.
Well, all right now.
What does that mean in biblical translation? Well, we know what the number 3.
Yeah, but you know, Jesus started his ministry at 33. Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah. So, hey.
I had a friend who was big in biblical numerology and stuff. So we used to, every time I say a number, she's like, oh,
that's what this means. Yeah.
Yeah, Jesus started 33. And, you know, Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Twice. Double portion. Yeah. That's awesome. So ballot number 33. Yeah.
Sharon Weston Broome for re-election.
Yeah. We're
excited. I want to finish the job that I started.
Yeah. Unbought and unbossed.
That's right. And I have to tell you, and I know you know, Niles, where that came from. I know you know, too. That came from...
She's from Grambling. She don't know. Go ahead.
That came from Shirley Chisholm.
Oh, yeah, sure enough.
It came from Shirley Chisholm. Yeah. Who was one of my sheroes. Yeah. You know, always, when I studied African American history, and she was always at the top, and remain a great admirer of hers. And if anybody has not seen the movie Shirley on, they need to see it. Netflix.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And all these years later, we have a black woman running for president.
Yes.
So just for some reason, I think the youth just think it happens like this all the time. You know, us older people, we're like, this is a rare chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So true.
Wow, we had 2 icons in the building today, because with Sandra Crump and yourself, you know, your first, she's gone now. Not Sandra Crump. Look, Maxine Crump. I'm thinking about the other Sandra I know. but the first female mayor.
That's right.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I saw them both on TV. I can't believe I'm sitting here right now.
She's not that old now. Don't do that.
Listen, that's okay.
That's okay.
I don't mind. Age is it's just an issue of mind over matter. If you don't mind, it doesn't matter.
I like that, Mayor.
Good one.
That's true. That's true. And I have to say, Apostle, I too participated in Maxine Crump's dialogue on race. I did both classes, the first class and the advanced class.
Profound.
Wow. Yeah. So definitely go out and check that out, Ms. Crump's dialogue on racism, and then also get out and vote on November 5th. Get out early. The lines are going to be long because we had a low turnout. So, of course, if you're going to show out on November 5th, get there early because the lines are going to be long.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we're excited about that. Mayor, thank you so much for taking time out your busy schedule. I know we had, we've been playing this for a while, so I'm glad to have you here. Thank you so much for gracing our platform and being here with us. And we're excited about the future of Baton Rouge.
I am too.
And all the great things you have done thus far and shall continue to do. Now,
and my grandma night wife.
Yes, that one.
Charmaine. I'm giving her name.
You gonna give her a name?
I'm giving her one.
Miss Charmaine. Okay. Okay.
It's that month.
It's that
November.
month, yeah.
That's the only thing. We got about 4 weeks, and we'll be down in New Orleans for the Classic. So.
Yeah. And so we look forward to, as well, some more videos coming from the Hamers.
They will be coming out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we didn't talk about your movie. We want to talk about the short film.
We're going to come back on to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got to talk about that.
Yes.
Again, Mayor, thank you so much for being with us today. And we're excited about what's happening. Well, hey, guys, look, we got to jump over into the Kingdom After Hour show. Make sure you stick around. We miss on our church taboo topics, but follow us in the Kingdom After Hour. Listen, I'm excited about this weekend. A lot of great things happening. If you don't have a place to worship, come check us out at Elevate Church, 10957 Greenwell Springs Road at 10:30. Then at 5:30, 5 o'clock is When Real Men Worship, a night of worship. But we're inviting the ladies out to be a part of that as well. For the Kingdom crew over there, the production crew, that's the Funky Cole Maninas, that's Nicholas Braxton Manina and Tamu Malika Manina holding down the ones and twos. Thank y'all for doing what you're doing over here. The Kingdom production crew over there and the Kingdom crew over here. That's Desiree DC, the voice. I am Apostle Keith. Thank you, Mayor Weston Broom, and we also thank the Hamers for being with us today. Hey guys, we're going to catch you next time right here on the Kingdom Hour Radio Show. Have a great one. Grace and peace to you. Peace.
The hour cometh, and now it's the Kingdom Hour. Thank you for tuning in to the Kingdom Hour. We trust you have been blessed. If you would like to contact us, please visit our Facebook page at The Kingdom Hour. Or you can email us, info@kingdomhour.com. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and we will see you on the next show.